Translate or interpret. This is just one of the many choices you'll be faced with when jumping into Loralyn's shoes as an online interpreter in Nightbook. Nightbook is not your typical style game. It is an interactive horror thriller about Loralyn, who is tricked into reading an ancient book that summons a demon into her home. Will she find out what this demon wants? Will she find a way to survive the night? And what about the people she cares about most? Nightbook lets you discover the answer to all these questions and much more. But is it worth your time to translate the ancient text? Let's find out. I won't go into much detail about the story of Nightbook to avoid as many spoilers as possible. I also don't want to show too much gameplay for the same reason, so I'll loop some shorter clips from the beginning here. Nightbook is best described as an interactive movie. Filmed remotely all during quarantine, the entire game takes place on Loralyn's computer screen. In the same style as the movie Paranormal Activity, Loralyn has security cameras set up throughout her apartment that she can access on her computer at any time. This is where we see the majority of the action take place, with some other shots from cell phones mixed in as well. Loralyn has taken a job as an online interpreter, and you start the game by taking her final test. This job sets the game perfectly for this format, as she's sitting at her computer ready to work. Here she'll use her webcam and headset to communicate, see emails pop up, some of which you can read, and use an instant messaging app. Everything can be seen and interacted with on her computer, and as the player, the only thing you're tasked with doing is making choices. Each time a choice appears, you'll be given usually 2 or 3 options on screen, with a short timer that adds a sense of urgency in choosing what you want her to do. These can be simple options like choosing how she responds to somebody, or if she accepts or declines a call. While this sounds very simple, the sheer amount of options in a playthrough are remarkable, and while not every choice changes the outcome drastically, there is a lot of variation in both who you interact with and what happens in the story. Other mechanics in the game include a relationship tracker in the pause menu. Here you're able to track your relationship status with the people you've interacted with. This gives you a simple scale of 1 to 100 on whether the person likes you. If you're above 50, they do, or dislike you below 50. It's not immediately apparent how this scale affects the game itself, but you do have some different options based on whether they like you or not. In the menu, you can also view any previous documents you may have read before in this playthrough, but there are so few I never found myself needing to read through them again. Besides that, your choices are what matter and what drive the game. A playthrough generally lasts about 60 to 80 minutes depending on your choices, and the game features a multitude of different options and endings for you to unlock by playing again and again. At the end of each playthrough, you're presented with a summary screen showing you some of the choices you made, as well as how many endings you've achieved and how many of the total clips you've seen. After you finish the first playthrough, you unlock the ability to skip the scenes you've seen before with a press of R1. This cuts down the time replaying again. This does make some decisions difficult if you don't remember exactly what happened though, as it will skip you to the next decision you need to make with very little context to go on, so skip carefully. Additionally, the game does offer a streamer mode, which removes the timer from the choices. This would allow an audience to vote on what they want the streamer to do. This is a nice feature to have and can be used for those who want to take more time to ponder their decisions as well, without having to fight the timer. The audio in this game is on par with many thriller movies I've seen in theaters. The dialogue is clear, the sound effects are spot on, and it's got all the staples of horror movies with well-timed sound effects that will have you on the edge of your seat. The demonic sounds, banging and creepy little noises, especially when playing with headphones on, do an amazing job of communicating the terror Loralyn is feeling and had me double checking the shadows all around me. Visuals in the Nightbook are something you can tell were at the forefront of the developer's mind. I was genuinely shocked how seamlessly the CCTV cameras, webcam, in-app chat, and cell phone displays were integrated into the game. Everything fits, everything looks great, and nothing feels as if it was forced to be there. The security cameras act like they have a life of their own, popping up in the middle of Loralyn's phone calls with creepy static, distortions making people look demonic and deranged. This brings both a nice shock to Loralyn as you see her horrified at what she sees, and still trying to be professional at the same time. Then it may switch to her typing in a chat, or making a call on her cell phone. Everything happens so seamlessly. Many times Loralyn will get up and leave her office to go to another room. When this happens, we watch what is about to unfold on the security cameras. Everything is framed so well to keep you engaged and wondering what's going to happen next. Since the game is essentially a movie, I feel I need to talk about the acting a little bit. While there aren't very many characters in the game, everyone puts on a really good performance. Nothing felt cringy and everyone's characters felt believable. The special effects in the videos are effective, if sometimes a little cheesy, but that kind of adds to the thriller or horror charm. The only effect I can say I really disliked was a demonic effect applied to one of the characters' face in some of the scenes on a cell phone. They looked more like filters straight out of Snapchat. Nightbook does offer 18 trophies to collect, including a platinum trophy. This took me roughly 3 hours to achieve. All of the trophies are related to getting different scenes or outcomes in the movie, and all rely on you making different decisions. You'll have to play through many times to unlock them all, but having the ability to skip scenes you've already seen makes it much faster than your first playthrough. Most of the descriptions in the trophies give you a big enough hint on how to figure out how to get them, so I'd rate this as about a 4 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. Keeping track of what final choices you've made previously to get different outcomes is the only thing that makes this take more time. When I first booted up Nightbook, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. My wife is a big fan of horror thriller movies, and we had played through Until Dawn together, so I got her to join me and let her make most of the decisions the first time through. We were both pleasantly surprised at the depth of choices, the acting, and the overall presentation of the game. While 60 minutes sounds like a short time, it feels just about right for the type of story and medium that they chose for this game. It never felt rushed or strung out too long, and the acting really helped sell the whole experience. I've had a lot of fun going back over and over to see what things would change based on the different choices, and have been pleasantly surprised at some of the smaller differences you can achieve. I really enjoyed my time with the Nightbook. It's a fun, interactive, and different way to watch a thriller horror movie that has some pretty good replayability. The cast is great and the acting is on point. Sound and graphics really do help sell the whole experience and bring it together as a great package. If you're a fan of the genre, I definitely think it's worth taking a look. I'd rate Nightbook as a 7 out of 10. Thanks so much to Wales Interactive for sending me a review copy of the game on PS4. Nightbook is available now on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Windows, and macOS. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, happy gaming.